So, our last topic is not going to be a lengthy topic, but I saw something on social media. It was a mother, and her daughter looked like she was about like 13. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I don't want to talk bad about kids, right? Because I don't want to say what the little girl was like. But we know those kids that with the aesthetics, like how certain kids look, that get picked on, right? And I could tell that the little girl was like insecure within herself, right? Mm-hmm. And the little girl had, you know how the little girls have baby hair or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because she's doing that because she wants to look like everybody else. But, you know, her mother had the camera on her, and you could just tell she wanted to go just destroy herself because her mother was like, that's ugly. Cut that off. You need to cut that off out your head. That's ugly. And then she tried to end with, she was like, look at it, you look stupid. And she was just talking to her daughter. You could just tell the little girl just like, you could tell she just wanted to melt and go away. And then the mother like, because you really pretty. You know what I'm saying? But you don't know what people saying about this kid at school.
Right.
And then she like, you really pretty. You need to just cut that off. You look stupid. Like just telling her how stupid she looked. And I was just thinking, I never actually dealt with that, you know what I'm saying, in my life, you know what I'm saying, but where your parents, but a lot of times I know other kids where their parents, they think they're nurturing them or they think that they're actually raising them, but it's like their self-esteem, they're actually destroying their kids' self-esteem. Mm-hmm. I remember like, you know, we from the whole idea of whooping your kids, right? We're from that era, mm-hmm. And we're from that culture. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like black culture where you whoop your kids and stuff. I remember this guy when I was his name we have the same name, LeVar. Well, he had the same middle name. My middle name is LeVar. His name's LeVar. And I remember his mom came to the school because he was acting bad, and his mom came up there and she whooped him. Right? Okay, you're gonna do that, but she made him take his clothes off in front of the whole class. And we was in, and the teacher allowed it. He had on just his drawers, and I remember going through school with him, and he was never the same after that. Because his mother, she was like, you want to act stupid, and he was just because his esteem was actually because sometimes when you beat your kids, you drive fear in them where they're gonna become they're gonna end up in prison.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because they actually. Either they're going to be really resentful towards you or they're going to be like scared to actually try things or try to do things because they have a fear of how you're going to react. You know what I'm saying? And I remember that. I just think that sometimes parents drive low self-esteem into their kids. Do you have any, how you feel about that?
I didn't see the video you're talking about, but as far as that, I mean, I can't tell nobody how to raise their kids or nothing like that. I mean, personally, I don't approve of it. I try to raise my kids with like positivity, but like firm positivity, because I got all boys. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna. If I had a girl, I wouldn't talk to my girl probably the same way I would talk to my boys. You know what I'm saying? Boys, it's boys. You know what I'm saying? So, but even when they don't do something right or they may feel insecure about something, it's just positive reinforcement. Hey, why do you feel this way? Like me and my kids have like real talks. Why do you feel this way? And he'll tell me, well, because X, Y, Z. And then based on what he say, I gotta have a response for that. But my response is always gonna be more so, well, you don't have to worry about nobody else. You know, you stay true to who you are. You know, you walk in your truth, be who you are. I'm not gonna be mad at you because you want to do what you want to do. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna make sure you ain't doing nothing wrong out here. Yeah. You know, but I'm gonna support what you want to do as an individual. Yeah. You know, and let's tell them don't worry about nobody else because you got friends right now. You ain't gonna know them in 10, 20 years. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Man, you know what I'm saying?
You sound like me.
Exactly. So we just try to tell them just like stay focused on yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you're curious about anything, you want to talk to anything, me and their mom really have a safe space to where they can come and we can talk about anything. Yeah. But that goes back to like me and their mom being on the same page. Yep. You get what I'm saying? Yep. And where we can sit them down and say, okay, well, it's time for us to have a talk. Turn the phones off, tablets off. We're going to talk for an hour. Anything y'all want to talk about, let's go to the table. And that creates a space to where they come up to me and just tell me stuff without me asking. Yeah. Because they done told me some bad stuff in in the sit down.
Yeah.
You know, and I didn't go off on them. I came up to them maturely, but this is how we gonna move from now on.
Yeah.
But you gotta hold your own weight or hold them accountable where they need to be held accountable at. But for the most part, I just try to do positive reinforcement, but also with a healthy dose of accountability.
Yo.
You know, like for example, me and my son had a talk, and he was telling me that he thought the teacher was being mean to him. I'm like, why you think that? He was like, because, you know, the teacher's always yelling at me. I was trying to get a pencil and this and that. And he'd be like, just sit down. I'm like, well, why don't you have no pencils? Because my pencil pouches it'd be in my locker. Why is the pencil pouch in your locker? Because I didn't go to my locker. Why did you go to your locker? Yeah, you was talking in the hallway. You forgot your pencil pouch in your locker where all your pencils is at. So if you had your pencil in class, you wouldn't even have to get up out your seat. So you have to do a better job. Yeah. You got to make sure you're prepared. You know, so I don't like get on them. I just tell them this: you got to be prepared. As a young man, you have to be prepared because not only in school but in life, you got to be prepared. So from now on, this is what we're gonna do. At nighttime, you're gonna make sure you got your pencil pouch ready, your book bag, have it by the door so when you get on the bus, you good. Yeah. In the morning, don't talk to nobody. Go to your locker. If you're not gonna take a pencil pouch out, just take your pencil pouch out and take it to every class. Yeah. What did he do that day? Dad, I took my pencil pouch out and I had it in every class and I didn't have to get up. See how easy that is? Preparation. So you think the teacher being mean to you, and you ain't holding up your end. So I just kind of show them like the different views of things and how you can just step it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Everything you said, I was going to say. I'm the same way with my son. My son is the same way. You know, I call my son before, you know, he goes to school and gives him positive vibes and, you know, positive talk, you know, let him know how special he is, how handsome he is, and, you know, what you got to do there. We have this same, like, I ask him, like, what do you have to do today? You like, be smart, be great, and be awesome. So we do that every morning. And it's crazy because, like, my son, he goes to a suburban school, so there's different ethnicities there. And for the longest time, he'd been wanting to keep his hair long. And I'm like, why? But he don't like me cutting his hair. He don't like having his hair cut. But I'm like, dude, you got to cut your hair. You got to look neat. You know, you can't just have long hair and
just be out here.
Yeah.
Just wake up and go.
And so it's crazy because even like I have a son, he still feels comfortable talking to his mom about certain things than he does me. And there's certain things that he feel comfortable talking to me about than he does with his mom. His mom came to me and was like, well, you know, he told me the reason why he wants to keep his hair long is because he was getting teased by some white kids that, you know, his hair doesn't grow long. And I had to catch myself.
Right. Yeah, that kind of real mad inside.
But then I talked to my son. I told my son the same thing. I said, dude, do not get worried about some kids that you go to school with. Like in 10, 20 years, you ain't gonna know these kids.
Right.
You know, I told him the same thing. I'm like, you gotta be true to yourself. You have to do what makes you feel comfortable. I'm like, people always you're getting older. People always are gonna have something to say. You can't just feed into what everybody has to say. And with me I've been working in public school districts for like 23 years now. Right now, I work at a school. It's like preschool through first grade. So I work around little kids all day. Some of the kids, because I work in the same school district that he goes to to child care in the same area. So I know a lot of these kids that he know. And they see me out in the store or at events, and the kids run up, give me hugs, like, hey, Mr. Eric, how you doing? And I had to explain to my son, you never know how these kids' households are and how they're getting treated in the household. And for me to be an adult that they could come up to, feel comfortable, and, you know, give a hug to, or, you know, I'm immature anyway, so, you know, I act like I know how to relate with kids, and my son always look at me like, well, why all the kids always run to you and everything? You're a grown up, they don't do what the other grown ups. So I'm like, well, kids see something in me, they're comfortable with me because I'm relatable. I try to be relatable. I don't try to be like other adults that try to scorn them or, you know, yell at them. Even if I see them doing something wrong, I ask them like, hey, what's it? Like, what you doing?
You know you ain't supposed to be doing.
Yeah, like you know better. Come on. You know, so
it's like you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna tell nobody, but you know you ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, so it's all about how you conduct yourself and how you talk to kids and just being positive. Even if they're doing something negative, I don't like seeing people talk to kids negative.
It do something to
It
me.
bothers
like,
me.
They
It really bothers me.
You ain't got to do all that. You really don't.
Yeah, especially when like women talk to their daughters like that. Back in the past, it was a chick that I was talking to, and she said something foul about her daughter. Her daughter was like a toddler, and I like, no, like I can't even do it because you.
You talking to your baby like
yeah,
that? I know you finna dog me.
Yeah, like
I know you finna dog me.
It's just the respect. Yeah, I just can't. I don't like seeing people do stuff like that to kids. It bothers me.
That whole people you don't talk to 20 years from now. I remember when we was graduating. When we was graduating from high school. I do remember we all went over my friend. It was Jamar's house. It was over my friend Jamar's house, and it was me and a bunch of us. And I remember we were getting lifted.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we always. This was right before we graduated. This was right before we graduated. We all talking about how we were about to go to. Some of us was going to college. Some of us was going to military. Some of us was going down the street.
Right.
But we was like, we ain't gonna talk to people when we go away to school. And we was like, we all friends for the rest of our life. And it was like 7 or 8 of us. And we like, we just all we got for the rest of our lives. And I swear to you, I only talked to one of them. And who you think it is?
Probably him.
No. We older than Eric. Eric from Akron. Yeah. Who you think you met?
Rico.
The only one I still talk to.
Rico, yeah.
And some of us, actually, some of them are passed on. Yeah. And some of them, you know what I'm saying, a lot of them don't live in Cleveland anymore. Yeah. And then some of them, like, we'll see each other and we'll have like the longest conversation.
Super long.
And then it'll be like, then we'll just go on about our way. Or some of them, they just like, some of them, they just, you know, they life be lifing.
Yeah.
Life be life. I mean, one of them, I remember we were supposed to go to college together. We never went to go to college together. But the crazy thing is, when you say you don't talk to, some of them I didn't talk to after I went away to school.
Yeah.
As soon as you got
as soon as I got away to school, it wasn't no cell phones and stuff back then.
Yeah.
I'm old. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's kind of like you just
Facebook,
lose track.
MySpace.
We didn't have stuff like that. We just lose track of time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So.
But yeah, we want to thank you, man.
Oh, thank y'all for having me. I really appreciate y'all.
Like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff that you're supposed to do.
Yes, sir.
Thought Opps.
Thought Opps.